What's up, everyone? This week we're going to start pulling parts off the Acura Integra. If you didn't see the original video of this car, I'm going to document how much profit I make off the vehicle. That way I can kind of show you guys that it's really worth buying cheap cars like this, parting them out, and making a little bit of money on the side, or some people even do it full time actually. So today we're going to start by removing the brakes. Probably going to spill into tomorrow, but in my time, not your time, the same video, but it's already 5 o'clock here and I'm so not motivated to do anything. I'm just so beat. Been catching up on other things, but gonna start with the front brakes and then do the rear tomorrow because the rear is a little more complicated. But yeah, that's just one of the first things that usually sell off of an Integra part out, because everyone wants a rear disc conversion to convert their Civics into disc brakes from drums. Like myself here, these are off a DC2 Integra, my rear disc conversion. So everyone likes to do that with their Civics, and that way it's all ready to go. If someone wants to buy it, I can just load it up and go. I don't have to rush after work. But anyways, let's get started with the front. Yeah, I apologize for the wood stove noise in the background. I probably should get a mic, but I gotta figure out like how to set it up, and I'm always afraid that if I do get a mic that it'll like die while I'm recording and then I won't realize it, and then I'll have like no audio, so then it's gonna ruin the whole video. So I don't know if you know anything about mics or whatever for like for a phone. I don't use a camera. Let me know in the comments, because your boy needs to figure something out here. Got to turn my poor quality videos into like mediocre quality. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Appreciate it. I'm gonna start by removing just the little brackets like for the ABS and the brake line. I'm not gonna take the brake line off until we're ready to pull it off, so I'm not getting dripped down the whole time. It's weird that this is brand new on both sides, the nut, when that wheel bearing is completely smoked on the other side. So I'm wondering if there's newer axles, but they don't really look that new. So I guess we'll find out when I pull them out. Yeah, these axles are definitely not new. So it's just weird that the axle nut is still nice. Here's your quick tip of the day, since I guess a lot of people don't know this, but to remove a cotter pin, I mean, it can get like a pain in the butt, and if you use pliers, it slips off and whatever. But if you take a pair of side cutters and grab it like this, and then just pull like that, you can slowly pull it out, even if it's not straight on the back. I'm bumping the camera, but just like that, and you're out. I'm not going to take the castle nut all the way yet, because that'll protect the threads when I'm hitting this to pop the ball joint out. Now it's hammer time. Not going to waste my time filming hammering because it takes forever sometimes. Alright, now that all the ball joints are loose and it's ready to come out, I'm going to spray just a little bit of penetrating oil on here. It doesn't look rusty at all, but I'll just put a little dab on there just for the sake of it, and then we'll take a 10 millimeter line wrench and take that out. I got a can to put under it so it drains into there. Alright, I just did that quick so I didn't make a mess, but got the line off, and then we'll just pop the knuckle right off. It's ready to come out now. Alright, I'm going to do the other side off camera, especially because it's like right against the wall there, so it's going to be difficult to film. And then I'll see you in the morning to do the rear disc. Alright guys, it's like 2 days later now. Yesterday I had to help someone with a car emergency, so we'll get back to working on the Integra and start pulling the rear disc conversion off. The interior of this car is so gross. Ugh. Man, I don't know how people let their cars get to this point. I mean, I have OCD, so maybe that's why it bothers me. I mean, look at this. You use the center console as like an ashtray, and there's just cigarette ashes everywhere. Ugh. It's funny too, because the last green Integra that I had, that was green with tan interior, the 2-door, same way, the whole car was just like an ashtray. Oh man. Is it like a green Integra thing or something? I don't know. This little cover is like caked in here. I'm going around with this tiny screwdriver trying to like carve it back out. Oh my goodness, so gross. nasty. But yeah, first, it's gross. First thing you gotta do, or that I like to do, is just take the center console out and unhook the cables, so then you don't have to worry about coming back inside the car once you're underneath it to remove the cables. We'll loosen this 12mm, I don't even know what we want to call it. It's like a little bolt, but it keeps the tension on the cables. This part's kind of a pain in the butt to film with one hand, but all you gotta do is turn this bracket in and then pop the cable out once it lines up with that slot. Just pop these two bolts out of this thing, little bracket. Yeah, everything's so much harder to do with one hand. It makes it look like it's difficult, but it's not. But take that off, and then the cables will be, it should be free to slide out once you unbolt everything from underneath the car. You just pull them through. There's a little seal back here, like a rubber seal, and these just kind of hard to pull through, but once you get everything loosened up, they'll come right out. Alright, now underneath the car, so this is a driver's side, obviously. The cable runs up through here underneath this. I gotta pop this off. Hopefully there's no spideys this time. The last one I dropped off, there's a giant spider in there. It was not pleasant, but I gotta pop this off. And then this side, there's no brackets under the heat shield, but this side, there is a bracket under here, I think one or two. So I'm gonna pop the heat shield off camera, because it's kind of a pain in the butt, especially trying to film on the ground. But I was looking at the exhaust. This exhaust is actually nice all the way to the muffler. The muffler is junk. The top of it's completely gone, so I don't know what's going on there, and it's rotted. That's weird, because the rest of the car is clean. But it's over here looking at this, and it's actually looks like a DC Sport exhaust, so it's decent. It's pretty worth it right there. But let me pop off this heat shield quick, and then I'll show you the cables. Thankfully, this car has probably been a Montana car its whole life, so none of these bolts were even rusted. Came right out. Alright, now you can see this better. So that's where it goes into the car, and then this is the bracket that was underneath. Well, actually, these two are the brackets that are underneath that heat shield. Please don't be spideys. No spideys. These things are always stripped out like the threads, so you just gotta put your finger up there. So there's that one right there, and then this corner one. So just in reference to everything else, I'll pop those off quick. I'm gonna do it off camera because, again, pain in the butt. I just yanked it off because I really don't care about this car. But as you can see, there's definitely some spidey activity in here. I don't know why they love this little thing, but every car I pull this thing off of, there's spideys in there. But I think they're all dead because it was cold out. But pulling that cover off just gives you more room to access this bracket for the cable. These should all be 12mm bolts. This one's the most difficult one to get to, but if you just put a little extension on there, you can squeeze it in between everything, and it has enough length to compensate for the bracket here. Alright, now this side's free. You can just leave this one here, because obviously the trailer arm's going to come out with the rest of the cable. But we can pull it out through here, like that. And there's your cable, and then we'll just do this side. Now this one should be free to pull out. This one's kind of a pain too, because you got to route it up and over everything as you're pulling it, so it's definitely easier with two hands, but it'll come right free. There's the cable. And then I'll just fish it out here off camera. Alright, now we'll just start pulling the rear trailing arms off. It does look like someone already put aftermarket bushings in here, which they bolt in the same, but it is kind of nice for whoever buys these, because it's a lot easier to replace these style bushings than like the OEM ones. So next I like to take everything off from underneath the car, so that way when I take the brake line off, I'm not getting dripped on. Oh man. Oh my goodness. This is on there pretty good. Good thing I've been working out. Jeez. There we go. I can't get the impact in here either because it's too big. It's got to be like the biggest downfall of not having a lift is not having leverage or being able to like articulate your body in a proper way to get bolts out and whatnot. You like to pop this out ahead of time. That way it just drops out when you're ready for it to fall. I usually just snip the ABS sensor because no one really cares about that anyways. And yes, you can just unbolt it here and take the rear conversion off that way and drop, and you don't even have to drop that, but I've had better luck and it's more efficient for me usually when I just take it off here because this bolt tends to be seized more often than that one, and then I'll just take the strut bolt off and it'll just drop out, leave the upper control arm one in until I get the brake line off, and then basically out. Yeah, figures now that I say that, the weld nut just broke on this side, so maybe we'll just drop it off from the other end of the control arm after all. As you can see, like, this is why I usually drop it off on the other end, because look how messed up that bushing is, which means the bolt is usually seized inside there, so we'll see. If not, I can just throw, I think this is a 19 on this side, socket, and then buzz it off that way. Yeah, look at that, we're in luck today. Well, here's your proof that anti-seize works, because I don't know if you can see that real well, but this bolt is covered in anti-seize, and I can guarantee that if there wasn't anti-seize on this bolt, that would have been stuck in there. So there's your proof that anti-seize works, and always use it when you're putting on new bushings or new control arms and stuff like that. I'm going to snip this here now since we're taking it off this way. Oh my Lanta, look at that. I just noticed that. To tighten these down so hard they crack the whatever this arm, so that's sketchy. So hopefully they come out and they're not too stuck in there. Sketchy. These are probably eBay bushings with a plastic. Oh my gosh. Gross. Oh my gosh, I was just looking at this side. They didn't even replace this one. It's still like the OEM style. So some people just shouldn't own cars, man. So this is about where I like to have it before dropping it off. As you can see, the only thing holding it on is the upper control arm. So I'm going to pop the brake line off, put my little can under it so it catches the fluid, and then we'll just pop it off here. That's just the easiest way. Like I said, certain way I do things, you can also pop it off here, but it's just, I've always had better luck popping it here rather than here because it's usually seized inside the bushing. And just like that, it's all removed. I'm going to do the other side off camera because it's the exact same process besides the cable, which I already showed you. So anyways, I'm going to wrap up the video here. Sorry it's another lame video. I've just been so swamped with work, so behind on everything, and then when I do have time to get in the shop and get caught up on stuff, something else goes wrong or someone needs help, so I'm just like completely swamped right now. So thank you guys for understanding and staying up to date with the videos. Also, a quick update on the truck that I've been talking about for about a year now that I've been waiting on to kind of get things back going. Engine is in the truck, so we got the motor in the truck. Have to do a custom oil pan because the setup that I'm doing is different than most, so you guys will see all that once I get the truck back. But super excited. Hopefully here within a few weeks it'll be done and have plenty of awesome content with that thing, and just going over the truck, also be able to pick up and sell more stuff, so I'll be making more money, which means I can put more money into the projects around here and make more content for you guys. If this video helped you out, or if you like the video, I appreciate a like. Helps the channel out a lot. Subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all the builds and projects, and follow my Instagram, Conjo_brothers, if you want to stay up to date on there, see more sneak peeks, pictures, videos, all that. And as always, I appreciate you guys watching.